Hello everybody, welcome back. In today's video I'm going to be fixing a compressor. So recently I managed to trade something that I didn't need it for a used compressor that works, but it needs some minor repairs and just some things that we have to look at. So today I'm going to be doing that. So then I will have a compressor for the shop. All right, so this is the compressor. Like I said, it works. It loses pressure because there's a leak somewhere on this pipe. So I'm going to be taking that out and try my best to seal it. And then this gauge over here is completely broken. So I'm going to have to replace that. And this electrical wire, I'm going to replace that because it looks... here something is, I can see some bare copper wires over here, so I'm going to replace that. And then it needs a filter on the air intake side, and there's no wheels on it. The first thing I'm going to do is open here. Take this bolt out just to make sure that there's no water inside here. It has been working for quite a couple of years, so I just want to confirm that. Wow, that looks... Oh, I see now. So this thing, but it's so dirty, I couldn't make it out. So this thing is a mechanism for getting water out, I think. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this around and see what comes out of here. Well, that's interesting. Doesn't seem like this. Oh, that's... Wow. What is that? Let me get the camera and just quickly show you this. So I was thinking that water would come out of here, but this, I'm not too sure what it is I'm looking at. Actually, I think I should probably just prop the front up a little bit to help it along. While that's going on, I'm going to clean this thing, which is really got a lot of stuff on it. So I'm going to do that so long. My goodness, this is dirty. Next, I have to try and figure out how I'm going to open this thing to attach new wires to the inside. So that's going to be interesting. All right, well, this is officially one of those things I've tackled, and it's way more complicated and bigger than I thought it would be. I cannot see how to remove this thing so that I can put a new power cable in there because I'm worried about that bare copper wires. I can see them. So there's a lot of oil or stuff stuck to the bottom here, so I decided, well, maybe it's a good idea to clean it and to replace all the thread tape and all of those things. So I'm trying to remove this thing. I removed this little wire, but this power cable that runs from here to the motor, if you try to turn this, it will just tighten around it to the point where I can't turn it again. So it appears that compressors are built in such a way that if you want to do anything, you have to take the entire thing apart. The only way I can get to the power cable on the inside of the motor is by removing these bolts and undoing the entire thing. I might as well take the entire compressor apart. It's a little bit frustrating. It's a fascinating experience that you can't just take one component off. Everything is like connected to one another. I'm stuck. I'm officially stuck. I don't know what my next move should be. And I'm also curious as to what the inside of this tank looks like. I don't even know, can I flush it out? Whatever, because that stuff is still coming out of there. It's a simple thing that makes air. And it's completely confounded me.
It just screws out of the bung in the bottom of the tank. There's no pressure in the tank.
Yep.
You want to let the air out.
I'm consulting the Oracle, which means you're watching me on YouTube while I'm watching on YouTube how to do this. This is what I'm doing now, research.
Got a bit of water in there.
So this is what I'm thinking I'm going to do. I was hoping this is going to be a quick project, but after the videos I just watched and everything, I think I'm going to take the effort to remove the motor, to remove this, to remove everything, and then I'm going to wash this tank out, let it dry. So this is now going to turn into a more than 1 day job, but it's better to do it clean, better to do it right, and then I know there won't be any problems. Plus, I think it will give me an incredible knowledge of compressors, which I have nothing of. So I am looking forward to learning that, but I think it's best I do this right, and then I will know I have a compressor that I can trust and use for a very long time. So I'm going to do that now. I wonder if I can see inside here. Oh my goodness. I don't know what this stuff is that's in here, but this tank will definitely need to be cleaned. That looks, oh my goodness, that looks nasty. All right, I just want to show you what that looks like before I start washing it out. Oh wow. It floats on top of the water. It's like a type of oily substance or something. Definitely something is odd. Wow. This toothbrush is gone now. Something is definitely plugging this on the inside. Look at that. That stuff just came out there at the end. All right, so I've got some boiling water. I'm going to try this now. Yeah, now we're getting lots of it out. Oh, hi. Welcome back. While you quickly went to the fridge to refill your chocolate milk and get yourself a peanut butter sandwich, I finished out cleaning the tank. I eventually had to use the high pressure hose to put it in there to get all that stuff out. Yeah, so then I left the tank overnight to dry on the inside, and I used some car polish to polish it. So the tank looks quite nice now. I also cleaned the motor off. So the motor is much cleaner now. And then I finally figured out how to take this thing off. And I am now in the process of replacing the electrical wire for this system. So that's what we're going to do now. I almost forgot. I want to show you this stuff that came out of the tank. Look at how thick it is. You can see it's barely flowing. It's the strangest stuff ever. Look at that. Nasty. All right, so this is the old power cable. So now you can see why I wanted to replace the whole thing. Look how it's perishing here. You see this insulation is falling off. So I've got there you've got bare copper earth right there next to live. And it's probably perished all the way inside here, and then here as well. Look here. I've got two. I've got the earth and another one, bare copper, right next to one another here. This old one is a disaster. All right, I'm going to start with the tank. So here's the tank. It looks much nicer after the car polish and the high pressure cleaning. There's some marks on here still that I can't get off. I don't know what it is, but it's a used tank, so it's fine. Okay, so put a washer in there. Lock nut. Look at that. Perfect. So now it's got a bit of grip. Look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. All right, so I finally got this in the right position, right orientation. Everything is tightened with fresh thread tape in there. Everything is cool. Now it's just reattaching the motor. And then these parts over here, and the pressure gauges. Okay, so that part's cool. Everything is okay here, everything is fitted. Now I'm going to be putting the motor back with the cover. Cover slides on here. I actually decided to replace the screws that was in here. They were also a bit rusted and everything, so I got some new ones. All right, so now that everything is lined up perfectly, the motor is lined up nicely, now I can just tighten them. That's nice. I also put the new air filter on. All right, so now for the final piece. Now, this piece was leaking air. What I'm thinking of doing is I bought these O-rings. I'm going to put them over here. And then I'm going to put lots of thread tape on the screws. And then I'm hoping a combination of the thread tape and the screws will sort out that leak problem that was there. All right, so now I can tighten this. So it pulls into the oil ring. Okay. I'm pretty sure that will be tight enough. And then this means that now I should have a fully assembled compressor. All right, it's plugged in. I'm going to switch it on. It's working. Okay, it's building pressure. I can feel some air here, but it's very difficult to pick up if it's the air from the fan blowing out here or if it's from here. Now, okay, I've got compressed air. It works. I'm a little bit concerned about this switch here, but that will be easy to replace. I have to figure out how to test this connection over here. It still feels to me like maybe leaking some air there. I will probably put some soap water on it or something and see if it makes bubbles at one point. If you have any tips or tricks for me, please leave it in the comments. Anything I should know, anything I should look at a regular basis or something like that, I will really appreciate that. I think this was quite an interesting exercise. I learned so much about compressors because I had to take so many things apart and clean it and service it. So I learned a lot. I did check the oil. The oil level is still perfect. The oil actually was quite clean that came out of here, so I assumed there was some new oil change done maybe recently. So the oil is still good and everything. I'm excited to start using this on a more regular basis. It's a great nice addition to the workshop. I'm very happy with that. Until our next project, make your best life. So I've taken this cover off here and the plot thickens. The way this power wire is wired in here into the motor, to be honest, I can't really even see. Let me put it another way. There is absolutely no way that I will be able to disconnect this power cable from the motor. That is not going to happen. Wow, this is not the easiest place to turn a screw, turn a nut. And now I realize that I'm standing behind the compressor, so you can't really see what I'm doing. But now, what the? Oh, okay, it's catching here. You see, that's not supposed to happen. The wheel should still be able to turn. Oh, that's not right. Now the gauge is upside down.